Remember those Saturday afternoons when the whole family gathered around the TV? The static cleared. The announcers' voices filled the room, and suddenly you were watching something magical. Athletes who didn't just play their sports, they became legends. The 1980s gave us more than just great athletes. These were the years of shoulder pads, neon colors, and sports heroes who transcended their games. We're talking about warriors who graced cereal boxes, inspired playground games, and had kids everywhere wearing their numbers with pride. From basketball courts to baseball diamonds, from football fields to hockey rinks, the 80s delivered sports moments that still give us goosebumps. We're counting down 20 of the most legendary sports heroes who captured our hearts and defined a decade. So grab your favorite beverage, maybe a Tab Cola if you're feeling nostalgic, and let's relive the magic of athletes who made the 80s absolutely unforgettable. And hey, if you're ready for this trip down memory lane, smash that subscribe button. Number 20. Dan Marino, Miami Dolphins. Dan Marino didn't just throw footballs, he launched rockets with pinpoint precision. In a decade obsessed with running, Marino showed the world what a quarterback's arm could really do. That quick release and rocket arm touchdown pass made Sunday afternoons electric in South Florida. When Marino dropped back in that powder blue and orange uniform, receivers knew magic was about to happen. 3 seconds later, someone 40 yards downfield would be celebrating a perfectly placed touchdown. The man didn't need fancy footwork. He had that golden arm that made every throw look effortless. The 1984 season was pure Marino. Over 5,000 passing yards when nobody thought it was possible, 48 touchdown passes, and the mustache that became as iconic as his spiral. Even without a Super Bowl ring, he was football royalty. Miami's humid heat, the crowd going wild, and Marino finding impossible windows for his receivers. That was 80s football at its finest. Who else spent countless hours in the backyard trying to recreate that perfect Marino spiral? Number 19. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Los Angeles Lakers. The skyhook. Just mentioning that shot brings back memories of basketball artistry. Kareem wasn't just tall. He was a giant who moved like a dancer, gracefully dominating with a shot nobody could defend. The Showtime Lakers were built around Kareem's steady excellence. While Magic dazzled with no-look passes and James Worthy soared for dunks, Kareem anchored everything from the paint. That number 33 yellow jersey became a symbol of consistency, and watching him execute the skyhook was watching a master craftsman at work. Playing until 42 years old seemed impossible, but Kareem made it look natural. Kids across America would practice that distinctive hook shot, extending their arms skyward, hoping to capture even a hint of his grace. He wasn't just breaking records, he was rewriting what longevity looked like in professional sports. That final championship in 1988, lifting the trophy in those regal purple and gold uniforms, felt like watching basketball royalty claim his throne one last time. Number 18. Dale Earnhardt, NASCAR. The man in black turned NASCAR into must-see television. Dale Earnhardt Sr. embodied racing's gritty spirit in the 1980s, when the sport was still rough, tumble, and gloriously unpolished. That black number 3 car wasn't just a race car, it was a statement. At Talladega or Darlington, watching Earnhardt work through traffic was like watching a chess master play at 200 miles per hour. He'd bump, grind, and muscle his way to victory with the precision of a surgeon and the heart of a warrior. Sunday afternoons meant gathering around the TV to watch him battle through the pack with steely determination. The Intimidator earned every letter of that nickname. Seeing that black car in your mirror meant the race was about to get interesting. This was old-school racing, where drivers settled differences with personality as much as horsepower, and Earnhardt was the undisputed king of both. His rivalries created drama that Hollywood couldn't script. When Earnhardt climbed out of that car after a hard-fought win, covered in sweat and grime, he looked exactly like what racing was supposed to be: pure, unadulterated competition. Number 17. Sugar Ray Leonard, boxing. Sugar Ray didn't just fight, he performed. In an era when boxing still ruled Friday nights, Leonard turned the sweet science into pure entertainment. Those flashy shorts, that movie star smile, and hands faster than lightning made every fight an event. The man could switch from southpaw to orthodox mid-combination, leaving opponents confused and crowds mesmerized. Leonard's boxing wasn't just technical, it was artistic. Every punch flowed into the next like notes in a jazz solo. Remember those wars with Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns, and marvelous Marvin Hagler. Each fight felt like a heavyweight drama, compressed into 12 rounds of pure poetry. The 1987 comeback against Hagler was Leonard's masterpiece. 3 years of retirement, then outboxing one of the greatest middleweights ever. Sugar Ray proved boxers could be warriors and gentlemen, savage and sophisticated. Those gold trunks and gleaming smile represented boxing's golden age, when the sport captured America's imagination every Friday night. Number 16. Edwin Moses, track and field. For nearly a decade, Edwin Moses didn't just win the 400-meter hurdles, he redefined what humans could accomplish. His rhythm was mechanical precision, meets artistic grace, each stride calculated to perfection while looking effortlessly natural. From 1977 to 1987, Moses won 122 consecutive races. In a sport where hundreds of seconds separate winners from also-rans, Moses often won by margins that seemed to break the laws of physics. That USA tracksuit became a symbol of American dominance on the global stage. The man brought a physicist's mind to track and field, which made sense, since he actually had a physics degree. Watching Moses navigate those hurdles was like seeing someone who'd cracked the code of human locomotion. He made the impossible look routine, and routine look spectacular. Every race was a clinic in perfect technique. That tall, lean frame floating over barriers, that metronomic stride pattern. Moses turned hurdling into a science and made every victory look inevitable. Number 15. Greg LeMond, cycling. When Greg LeMond won the 1985 Tour de France, it felt like America had conquered Everest. Cycling had been Europe's private party for decades, and suddenly, this all-American kid was wearing yellow through the French countryside. European cycling had traditions older than most nations. LeMond showed up with USA jerseys and aerodynamic innovations, proving American ingenuity could challenge centuries-old European dominance. That first Tour victory was more than personal triumph. It was cultural breakthrough. Then came the hunting accident that nearly killed him, followed by the most dramatic comeback in sports history. The 1989 Tour, decided by 8 seconds after 3 weeks of racing, felt like Hollywood fiction come to life. LeMond's aero bars and time trial mastery changed cycling forever. Watching him suffer through mountain stages, every pedal stroke a testament to determination, embodied the American spirit. He opened doors for American cycling that we're still walking through today. Number 14. Pedro Guerrero, baseball. While superstars grabbed headlines, Pedro Guerrero went about the business of clutch hitting and championship baseball. That Dodgers uniform fit his workmanlike approach perfectly. Steady, professional, reliable when it mattered most. Dodgers Stadium in October, California sun warming the infield dirt, Guerrero stepping up with runners in scoring position. This was where he thrived. The bigger the moment, the more relaxed he seemed. Those line drives weren't just hits. They were proof that heroes come in all forms. The 1981 World Series MVP award represented more than individual achievement. Guerrero showed that championships are built on players who show up every day, clutch up in big moments, and play hurt without complaint. His versatility, third base, first base, outfield, made him the ultimate team player. While others demanded specific roles, Guerrero adapted wherever needed. In an era of growing egos, he represented baseball's purest values: show up, play hard, win games. Number 13. Cal Ripken Jr., Baltimore Orioles. Cal Ripken Jr. wasn't just a ball player, he was reliability incarnate. As the streak grew through the 80s, Ripken became the embodiment of showing up for work every single day, no excuses. That smooth swing and those steady hands at shortstop redefined what the position could be. Ripken proved bigger players could possess the agility and grace traditionally reserved for smaller athletes. Memorial Stadium became his laboratory for perfectionism. Night after night, Cal took the field with quiet professionalism. Those summer afternoons watching him turn double plays felt like witnessing poetry in cleats. The Iron Man represented everything great about baseball: consistency, endurance, and respect for the game. The way he signed autographs after every game, talked to fans young and old, carried himself with understated dignity. Ripken understood what being a role model meant. In an era of flash and attitude, he just played, then showed up tomorrow ready to play again. Still feeling the magic? Give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. We're just getting to the legends who defined a generation. Number 12. Larry Bird, Boston Celtics. Larry Legend made the impossible look routine. Bird didn't have the prototype athlete's body, but those green Celtic threads might as well have been wizard robes. The Boston Garden was his cathedral, and every shot was a prayer answered. That old, creaky building with dead spots on the floor and cigarette smoke hanging in the rafters became Bird's personal stage. He owned every inch of that court, shooting from spots that defied geometry and making everything look like warm-ups. The trash talk was legendary. Bird would tell opponents exactly what he planned to do, then execute it perfectly. That wasn't arrogance. That was artistry backed by unshakable confidence. He studied basketball like a chess master, always 3 moves ahead. Those Celtics-Lakers battles defined a decade. East Coast grit versus West Coast glamour, with Bird leading the blue-collar charge. Every fundamentally sound play looked spectacular. Every spectacular play looked routine. He proved that greatness comes in all packages, sometimes wrapped in an unassuming 6 feet 9 inches frame, with a deadly jump shot and an even deadlier tongue. Number 11. Mary Lou Retton, Gymnastics. Mary Lou Retton made gymnastics feel attainable to every American kid. The 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles were a red, white, and blue spectacle, and Retton was the perfect all-American superhero. That perfect 10 vault that clinched Olympic gold. The crowd erupting, judges holding up perfect scores, Retton beaming like sunshine itself, captured everything beautiful about Olympic dreams coming true. This pixie from West Virginia proved American gymnastics belonged on the world stage. Those patriotic leotards became symbols of national pride. But it wasn't just the medals, it was how Retton competed. Every routine bubbled with joy, combining power with personality in ways the sport had never seen. The endorsement deals that followed made her gymnastics' first celebrity. She opened doors for American gymnastics that led to decades of Olympic dominance. That infectious smile and genuine exuberance proved champions could be both fierce competitors and joyful performers. Number 10. Florence Griffith-Joyner, Track and Field. FloJo didn't just run. She streaked across tracks like a meteor in spandex. Those one-legged running suits weren't just fashion statements. They were declarations that speed could be beautiful. The 1988 Seoul Olympics belonged to FloJo. Watching her run felt like witnessing someone discover a new gear of human locomotion. Those world records in the 100 meters and 200 meters didn't just stand. They soared beyond what anyone thought possible. The long fingernails painted in patriotic colors, the flowing hair creating its own wind effects, the dramatic celebration before even crossing the line. Everything about FloJo was larger than life. She proved athletics could be art. She transformed track and field into must-see television. While others focused purely on times and marks, FloJo understood that sports could inspire through beauty as much as achievement. Those iconic images of her in full flight captured the 80s perfectly. Bold, colorful, absolutely unforgettable. Number 9. Wayne Gretzky, Edmonton Oilers. The Great One made hockey look easy, which was probably the hardest trick of all. In those orange and blue Oilers uniforms, Gretzky didn't just play hockey. He redefined what the game could be. Northland's Coliseum became hockey's laboratory, where Gretzky conducted experiments in excellence. He saw the ice like a chess grandmaster sees the board, 3 moves ahead of everyone else. Those passes didn't just find teammates, they created scoring opportunities that hadn't existed moments before. The records weren't just numbers. They were proof that some athletes transcend their sports limitations. Leading Edmonton to 4 Stanley Cups while setting marks that still seem untouchable, Gretzky made Canada's frozen province the center of the hockey universe. Nobody who watched Gretzky play could explain exactly how he did it. He wasn't the biggest, fastest, or strongest. But he was always in the right place at the right time, making every teammate better simply by being on the ice. Number 8. Billie Jean King, tennis. Billie Jean King didn't just win matches, she won wars for equality. By the 1980s, her famous Battle of the Sexes victory had already changed sports forever, but King kept fighting for fair treatment on every court. Those classic white tennis uniforms couldn't contain the revolutionary spirit underneath. King proved women's tennis could be equally compelling as men's, equally athletic, equally worthy of attention and respect. Every victory felt like progress. The way she celebrated with that familiar raised fist showed someone who understood her wins, represented more than personal achievement. King carried the hopes of every young girl who dreamed of athletic equality. Her advocacy for equal prize money and opportunities seemed radical then, but feels inevitable now. King's courage in living authentically during less accepting times proved champions fight battles far bigger than any single match. Every serve, every volley carried the weight of changing an entire culture. Number 7. Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls. Even before the championships, Michael Jordan was clearly destined for greatness. That 1984 rookie season in Chicago, red and black, was just the preview of coming attractions. The Chicago Stadium became a launchpad for athletic artistry. Jordan's dunks weren't just athletic achievements, they were pieces of performance art. The free throw line takeoff, the impossible hang time, the way he seemed to float through defenses, physics bent to his will. What separated Jordan wasn't just talent. It was how pressure affected him. Big moments didn't shrink his abilities, they amplified them. Those early playoff battles against the Celtics and Pistons were proving grounds for the legend to come. You could see the killer instinct developing. Every move calculated for maximum impact, every fadeaway jumper executed with surgical precision. Jordan was transforming basketball from sport into theater, and everyone sensed they were watching the star of tomorrow. Number 6. Magic Johnson, Los Angeles Lakers. Magic didn't just play basketball, he conducted orchestra on the hardwood. The Showtime Lakers turned basketball into entertainment, and Magic was the ringmaster making it all possible. Those fast breaks in full flight, Magic grabbing rebounds, scanning the court, somehow finding impossible passes that created easy scores, looked like basketball from another planet. The no-look passes, the behind-the-back magic, the infectious smile made every Lakers game feel like a party. East Coast versus West Coast, Magic versus Bird, Showtime versus hard-nosed fundamentals. The 80s gave us the greatest rivalry in basketball history. Every Lakers-Celtics matchup felt like a cultural event. At 6 feet 9 inches, Magic redefined what point guards could be. His leadership wasn't just vocal, it was magnetic. Players elevated their games because Magic made them believe they could achieve anything. Those championship celebrations in the Forum felt like Hollywood endings to perfectly scripted seasons. Number 5. Steffi Graf, tennis. Steffi Graf brought power and precision that revolutionized women's tennis. The 1988 Golden Slam, all 4 Grand Slams plus Olympic gold, remains one of sports' greatest achievements. That forehand wasn't just powerful, it was devastating. Opponents knew it was coming, but couldn't stop it. Graf's footwork allowed her to create angles that seemed to violate geometry, while her mental toughness turned difficult moments into opportunities. The quiet dignity she maintained during personal struggles showed character beyond athletic ability. She carried herself with an elegance that made victory look effortless and defeat temporary. Graf inspired a generation of players who dreamed of combining power with placement the way she did. Those simple, elegant tennis outfits reflected her no-nonsense approach. Let the game speak for itself. Number 4. Walter Payton, Chicago Bears. Sweetness earned his nickname through running style that combined power with balletic grace. Sunday afternoons watching Payton were weekly masterclasses in how to play running back. Soldier Field on crisp autumn days, Payton taking handoffs and turning routine carries into poetry. This was football at its finest. He didn't just run around tacklers. He educated them, showing how someone could be most effective without being biggest or fastest. The 1985 Bears gave Payton the perfect stage for greatness. But he'd been the show long before that Super Bowl season. The way he helped up tacklers after runs, the respect he showed everyone, made him more than a great player. Payton treated football like a craft, perfecting technique with obsessive dedication. Every carry left something on the field, every run a testament to durability and excellence. Those Sunday performances weren't just football, they were art. Number 3. Martina Navratilova, tennis. Martina Navratilova didn't just win, she dominated an era. The 1980s rivalry with Chris Evert created tennis magic that transcended sport. Power versus precision, athleticism versus finesse, 2 perfect styles creating dramatic tension. Wimbledon center court was Navratilova's stage. Watching her serve and volley with aggressive precision showed what athletic excellence looked like. Her fitness regimen was revolutionary, turning her into a pioneer in sports science. The 167th career singles titles represented more than numbers. They showed what happened when athletic superiority met strategic brilliance. Navratilova changed how people thought women's tennis should be played, creating templates that influenced generations. Her courage in living authentically during a less accepting time proved championships extend beyond trophies. Being a champion meant using that platform responsibly, and Navratilova understood that responsibility completely. We're in the final stretch. If these legendary athletes are sparking amazing memories, smash that like button and subscribe. The top 2 that defined the decade are coming up. Number 2. Joe Montana, San Francisco 49ers. Joe Cool made the impossible look routine. No quarterback was more clutch in the 1980s than Montana. Those red and gold 49ers uniforms became symbols of excellence when excellence was the expectation. Candlestick Park on Monday nights, fog rolling in from the bay, Montana dropping back with that calm demeanor that never changed regardless of score or situation. His passes weren't just accurate. They were perfectly weighted gifts, arriving exactly when and where receivers needed them. The West Coast offense was Montana's piano, and he played like a virtuoso. Short passes, quick slants, perfectly timed throws turned football into chess. Watching him dissect defenses felt like watching a surgeon at work. The biggest moments revealed Montana's true greatness. Fourth quarter, championship on the line, 2 minutes remaining. That's when Joe Cool became legendary. The catch, the Super Bowl 23 touchdown pass. These weren't just plays. They were defining moments that separated good from immortal. Number 1. Muhammad Ali, boxing. Muhammad Ali transcended the 1980s, even as his boxing career ended. The early decade gave us reminder glimpses of why the greatest earned that title, not just for what he did in the ring, but for who he chose to be outside it. Those final fights, painful as they were to watch, reminded us why Ali mattered. This wasn't just about boxing. It was about watching courage in different forms, athletic brilliance evolving into moral leadership. Ali proved being a champion meant more than winning fights. His stance against Vietnam, his religious conversion, his refusal to be anyone other than himself despite consequences, these choices elevated him beyond sport into social consciousness. The poetry of his trash talk, the dance-like beauty of his prime, the way he carried himself through triumph and adversity. Everything about Ali was revolutionary. He showed athletes could be artists, strength could coexist with intelligence, and standing for beliefs mattered more than any championship. In a decade filled with incredible athletes who redefined excellence, Ali remained the standard by which all others were measured. He didn't just fight in rings. He fought for change, for justice, for the right to be authentically yourself. Muhammad Ali wasn't just the greatest boxer. He was the greatest example of what an athlete could become. These 20 legends didn't just define the 1980s. They created magic we're still discussing today. They weren't just athletes. They were inspiration on legs, role models who made sports appointment television for entire families. Magic Johnson's perfect passes, Wayne Gretzky's impossible vision, Muhammad Ali's enduring courage. These heroes gave us moments that transcended games and statistics. They made us believe in the impossible, taught us about dedication, and showed us champions are forged from something deeper than talent alone. Gymnasiums became temples, stadiums became theaters, and ordinary Sundays became stages for extraordinary achievements. These legends turned sports into shared experiences that bonded generations. Which athlete inspired you most? Did we miss any heroes who captured your imagination during those incredible years? Share your favorite memories in the comments. We love hearing your stories. If this journey through sports history sparked some golden memories, like this video and subscribe to our channel. The 80s gave us heroes worth remembering forever, and we're just getting started with these trips down memory lane. Thanks for joining us, and remember, the best victories often happen years later when heroes continue inspiring new dreamers.